Dosha. Oh, I missed this. Welcome back to another vlog. This might be a short video, but just to show you what we have been up to and how our autumn has been going so far. It's a good one. I mean, look at this, guys. The red. Just, it's so beautiful out here. It's actually early morning, and up until now, we haven't had the chance to get out early morning to go biking. And today there's no work, so I took that opportunity, and it's just beautiful. Oh. It's that time of the year where we have to take out our bulbs, clean up our gardens. If I don't remove these bulbs and store them for the winter, they're going to decompose, and next year I will have nothing. I put these out today. I'm just letting them dry off a little bit before I clip off the greenery and store them. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous day today. It's nice and warm, actually. I honestly might not even need a jacket, but that's fine. That's fine. We have already put out the geraniums. These also need to be stored away for winter. Mom wants to spray them with a fungus spray before she puts them into storage, which is why they're here. Any little bit of damp dirt on the gladiola bulbs can cause problems. It can cause fungus and problems, and I don't want that. I might have a lot of gladiolas, but I definitely do not want to lose any. Our work today started a little bit later. It started at 1 in the afternoon. The girls started with removing the beets. And while we did that, the ladies cut the dried stems off of the onions and put them into boxes for storage. We store them in the fridge. After the ladies were done with the onions and we were done with pulling the beets, we then proceeded to cut off the greenery on the beets. And when cutting off the greenery, make sure you leave at least 1/2 inch to 1 inch of the stem still on the beets, and don't cut off the tails. It helps prevent the beets from bleeding, which, yes, beets bleeding is actually a thing that does happen. Today is a tomato day for us, and first things first, the tomatoes need to be washed. The ladies then remove any ugly parts and the knob in the middle and cut them in half so that they cook faster. They then get dumped into the big kettle to be cooked. After they are nice and soft and fully cooked through, they get put through the juicer, and there are the tomatoes that you need for the soup. Next, we move on to the vegetables. They need to be chopped, so onions, beets, and celery get chopped. These then have to be cooked separately and then also juiced separately with a little bit of tomato juice mixed into it, just to wash it down a little. After the vegetables have been juiced and the tomatoes have been juiced, we add that back into the kettle with the rest of our ingredients, everything listed in the description box below, and allowed to cook for 20 minutes before we fill the jars. After the jars are sealed, they get put into the tank until the water reaches 216 Fahrenheit. And yes, we do use the water bath canning method because of the fact that we have to can in such huge amounts. I know there are people that don't prefer it, but each to his own. We do what works best for us. Moving on to salsa, just like before, the vegetables, peppers, celery, onions, and this time around the tomatoes also get chopped with that same machine. We don't cook them beforehand, and everything goes into the kettle raw all at once, and the salsa gets cooked for an hour before we, well, fill our jars and also take some home for a snack, which is what I did. Nothing better than fresh, warm salsa with chips, and that's coming from somebody that didn't used to like salsa. The salsa does not get put into the tank, you just let it sit and let it seal on its own. And last but not least, that day we also made stewed tomatoes, which is basically just tomatoes, not cooked or anything, get grinded and put into jars with a tablespoon of sugar and a tablespoon of pickling salt. Seal them, put them into the tank and boil the jars for half an hour. There's all my gladiolas, but I have a little bit of a problem. Last night we had frost. Usually we check our weather, usually somebody lets us know, but we didn't expect frost. We didn't know we were getting it, and my gladiolas were here uncovered and they can't take frost, so I'm actually kind of scared. They look okay, although I'm not gonna lie, some of them feel soft, and I honestly don't know what to do. I'm just so scared that next year when I pull them out to plant them, they will have decomposed. And I desperately don't want that to happen. The last glad blooms, I actually cut these on Monday. Then I also removed them from the pot on Monday. Ice cream! Orange flavored. Strawberry, butter pecan, caramel green apple. Yes. Yeah. It was the last week that the new ice cream place was open for the season, so our gardener took us for one last ice cream. Did that? Beauty. Boom. Cheers. Almost lost it. Besta. What a day! I was actually very lucky. I got quite a few of teeny tiny babies that I still want to try and plant next year. So we'll see. I put them in here. It's time to say goodnight, just for a season. I always write glad because I have no idea how to spell gladiolas. I have just recently discovered putting a little bit, well, okay, a lot of pumpkin pie spice into your coffee. It is divine. Don't go over. This will be a short story time. This week on Monday, when we were putting out beets, we started with the beets, but then we continued on and did the carrots. We weren't able to finish with the carrots, so yesterday on Friday morning we went back to the garden to finish with the carrots and also do the parsnips because we hadn't done those anyway. If you have to cut off the greenery, after a few months they just start growing again, and that's not what we want. I was cutting a carrot, the knife was facing toward me, which I know is not the proper way to hold a knife. Don't ever do that. Don't ever cut towards yourself. The knife slipped and I actually cut my wrist. In an instant, I was like, Mom, I cut myself. She came over with a clean handkerchief, put it on, applied pressure, and one of our ladies grabbed a golf cart and drove us to meet my dad. And went to the hospital and I got stitches. I actually nicked my artery. This is where we're currently at. I'm okay. I'm doing okay. It just, yesterday it was throbbing and painful all day. Today it's more on and off and it's a lot better. That was my Friday. Definitely not how I expected it to go, but then very often things don't go the way we planned or the way we expect them to. I'm going to go out for a walk. I need I just need fresh air. I need fresh air.